from what I understand from reading an Opus Libris post titled The Psychiatrists of the Work, it includes directives about spiritual practices within Opus Dei, the role of directors, and how new members should be guided in their formation. And it includes instructions on maintaining Opus Dei's spiritual ideals, managing personal growth, and fulfilling the apostolic mission. It is the Opus Dei internal playbook. And at one time, you could actually download and save this from the Opus Libris site, but it appears to have been removed following the litigation between the founder of Opus Libris and Opus Dei. Now, I don't want to get off into too much of a tangent or a sidebar, but I do find that court case between Opus Dei and Opus Libris kind of hilarious, just for the simple fact that it completely undid any work that Opus Dei had ever accomplished in convincing people that these documents don't exist. They ended up validating that by suing this website for the fact that they put this document up. And I think it also goes to show how unprepared and ill-equipped Opus Dei is to deal with reality or truth. And I guess that kind of stands to reason because their entire business model seems to be built on lies and fabrications and obfuscations of reality. So if you refuse to even acknowledge those things, you're not going to be able to contend with them, even when they're staring you straight in the face. Anyway, in this article in Opus Libris, the author used a passage from the Vademecum to illustrate his allegation, which is that a psychiatrist operating within Opus Dei is a whistleblower, something the Vademecum seems to encourage. The quote that he cites states that, in these cases of depression and exhaustion, one should consult an experienced and prudent doctor, better if they are a member of the work. It is very important to inform the directors in order to provide effective help to those who need it. This quote leaves the impression of an institution with a vested interest in inserting itself between a patient and their doctor and into the decisions that are made concerning the health of that patient. And that is just so wrong on so many different levels. Now, since Opus Libris published this back in 2004, it is possible that the Vademecum has been revised or is no longer in use at all, and so that attitude is no longer present. But I find that pretty hard to believe for three main reasons. The first is that I have heard firsthand accounts from former members who hold that the organization is incapable of changing, does not want to change, and believes itself perfect in every way as a divinely inspired institution. The second reason is because of an excerpt from the Vademecum, which states that everything written in the Vademecum is in both substance and form, not only good and noble, but holy. In all these notes, the exclusively supernatural nature of this work is reflected, the spirit willed by God for Opus Dei. That statement paints the organization into such a corner because it is unable to acknowledge wrongdoing without invalidating this and every other statement citing Opus Dei's divine origins. And the third and final reason is because of revelations that are shared in the 2023 complaint that I referenced earlier, which state, among other things, that, quote, although Opus Dei denies it, any legal solution that is given to them, the leadership of Opus Dei will take as something to cede without conceding with the intention of recovering. They will wait, they openly say so, for this pope or the next one to pass in order to recover what St. Jose Maria Escriva wrote. This attitude stems from apparent dissatisfaction within Opus Dei's internal government with the sanctions and restrictions that have been imposed on the organization, which they feel force Opus Dei out of alignment with Jose Maria Escriva's intentions.